Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Friday, September 21st, 12:40 a.m. Mountain Time, 2018. You're looking at the historic solar grand minima in our recent past. You can clearly see here that there is a lag time of 100 years between each one. The duration of each grand minima is 30 to 100 years, sometimes longer. It is our calculations here, based on my paleoclimatology background, that we're actually not only at the eddy minimum, but we're also entering the end of the interstadial, which means it's only downhill from here. But in your lifetime, you only have to worry about the next few solar cycles, which are going to get progressively worse as far as extreme weather events, extreme snow and heat, extreme changes, climatic shifts, seasonal shifts, and most importantly, cosmic ray flux increase, leading to epic flooding, our waning magnetosphere, leading to even more threat from solar storm at every moment, every day you wake up. Storm-ravaged Carolinas braced for even more Florence flooding. This is going to continue for another week, unfortunately. Water appears to have receded in some areas of the Carolinas, but more flooding from Hurricane Florence could arrive through the weekend, officials say. More than a dozen rivers in North and South Carolina already have overflowed their banks, and the water, particularly the Waccamaw River, which spans both states, is expected to swell, putting additional residents in harm's way. Waccamaw, are we talking about? We're talking about the Waccamaw River. Okay, we've frozen up and Chrome is not responding. Did we tell you about the solar grand minima? In our recent past, we're talking about the Glassberg. Some call it the centennial minimum, and that was back in 1880 to 1914, when we had Niagara Falls freezing, record cold, extreme winters in North America. Now let's talk about the Waccamaw River. It has started to slowly rise in the city of 23,000, and forecasters expect it to swell more than 3 feet above the previous record crest by Tuesday, while still rising. Some areas could stay underwater for weeks, forecasters warn. All the water from Nichols and Conway is heading towards Georgetown County, where 5 different rivers dump into the Atlantic Ocean. Officials warn more than 10% of the county's 61,000 residents might have to evacuate sometime right now, but called that the worst case scenario, and they couldn't give any specific forecast. Well, authorities plan to start handing out 15,000 sandbags Friday. That's starting now. We're at the end of the line of all waters to come down, and they're coming down hard. Let's check the data. And it's going to be some hard data. Here's the Waccamaw River near Longs, South Carolina. You can see the temperature dropping rapidly. That is the flood surge here. And you can see the discharge in cubic feet per second. On September 14th, it was at 80 cubic feet per second. 6 days later, it's at 66,500 cubic feet per second. That is a freight train of water, and it is still rising. The gauge height is at 20.05 feet, and on September 14th, it was at 2 feet. The river has risen 18 feet in just a week, and it is still rising. Now this graph, it's cresting here. Thankfully, it is cresting. It'll probably only rise another 6 inches near Longs. And this is not the graph we're worried about. We're worried about the Waccamaw River above Conway. The temperature is just starting to dip after 16 inches has fallen in just 3 days. Do you see that graph? In this particular location, the river is rapidly rising vertically. It is over 30,700 cubic feet per second. On the 14th, it was literally at zero. Here we can see it below 2 feet on the 14th. It is now above 17 feet and rapidly rising. There is no end in sight to this crest. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, up here, the 22 feet mark. Maximum was 4,110. And you can see the most instantaneous value is 8 times that. Just about. And that's tonight's first. Holy mother in boom. Your ignorance is their power. Learn how to use these graphs. All you have to do is type in a river near you and add stream flow data, and you will get the USGS graph at the top of the Google. And that's a boom. For instance, I put in Waccamaw River streamflow data, and I got all those sites. Yeah, it's true. Learn something. Torrential rains and flooding impact pumpkin crops. It's going to be a rotten Halloween. Elmira, New York, torrential rains and flooding have caused pumpkins and other crops to be severely impacted this season. Galactic cosmic rays and cloud nucleation to blame. Thank you, Svensmark. There are links to his paper below here. The work of Heinrich Svensmark, Enkhoff, Shaviv attributes cosmic rays to cloud nucleation here on Earth. More clouds means more precipitation and more cooling. Now, the rain has caused pumpkins to either rot early or not grow as big, which is going to cause a rise in pumpkin prices in the Northeast. Whew. Your pocketbooks are getting hit. Your crops are getting hit. Check out the snowfall totals coming from GFS, most recent, showing amazing snow piling up on the southern tip of Greenland, as well as all of Canada, even dipping out to North America here. Saskatoon weather outlook: snow hits city to end the summer. 6C was where we started the day under mostly cloudy skies, which stuck around right to the middle of the day as temperatures warmed up into the double digits. But this is just the calm before the storm. And the snow will fall. There's the future cast. Let's check the GFS model in close up. Hey, check out Nebraska. Oh my gosh. Right there, September 28th. GFS model showing snow moving into Nebraska from Wyoming. That could be interesting, kids. Look at the next week here. Canada is going to get buried, and we're going to see people crying up here in Alberta and BC. Do you guys hear what's happening up in the UK? Northern Ireland sets new all-time record for strongest September wind gust. Northern Ireland has set its new record for strongest September wind gust, with a 91 mile per hour gust measured on September 19th. This is associated with snow. Snow way. Scotland weather, temperatures drop below zero with snow falling as country recovers from Muhammad Ali. Whew. Holy. Al! You son of a... First snow of the season falls in the Cairngorms. Yes, these are the Scottish mountains. Yes, and that's a fucking boom. You know why? Because it's still summer. Yeah, we have 24 hours. The vernal equinox is on the 22nd of September. And I just got a new camera. I got an HD Sony Handycam Digital 60X Zoom CX405. It weighs like a gram. And I'm about to take it out to this really unique place and do some videos. at the Sankawi ruins with my neighbor Rex Bear, who also got a new camera. Now let's check the GFS models here in Europe. We have snow at the end of summer re-entering the Alps, and we have Norway is buried. Look at this. Over a meter of snow predicted through September 30th. I'm telling you, Western Australia crops punished by 2 devastating frosts in a matter of days. That's not just 1, that's 2, which is twice as many. Now, hold on. We just erased the boom. We better go back in history. This is like Back to the Future boom. There it is. Western Australia crops punished by 2 devastating frosts in a matter of days. 2. That's more than 1. That's almost twice as many. In fact, it is. Crops in Western Australia were punished with yet another severe frost overnight Wednesday, following a devastating hit on the weekend at a critical time in the development of the little grains. And they're not popcorn. Prices for this coming January's ASX East wheat contract reached new season highs of $4.22 a tonne after devastating frosts in Western Australia over the weekend. The previous high for January wheat contract was in 2011 when January 12 ASX East contract was $364.50 a tonne. Now, Australian spot wheat prices ended high on the East Coast on Tuesday, with reports of weekend frost in Western Australia impacting pricing. Mr. Gorey wrote that in Commonwealth Bank market report, John Chapman, a farmer in Bruce Rock, tweeted 50% of his wheat crop stuffed. Did I read that correctly? Adding this was the biggest frost I have seen in my short 15-year history. Well, that's a young farmer. Whew. And that's a hell of a story. Another super typhoon brewing in the Pacific. That's TD28 drenching Guam. A tropical depression formed near Guam on September 20th and is currently dropping heavy rain in the region. This system has the potential to become another super typhoon in the days ahead. Whew. Northern Ireland sets new all-time record for the strongest wind. We just covered that. National Weather Service confirms 9 tornadoes hit central Virginia associated with Hurricane Florence, aka Tropical Storm Florence. The strongest was in EF2 in Chesterfield County with an estimated winds of 125 miles per hour. Yes, 1 person dead, 1 injured. Whoa, that's null school. Worldwide volcano news update. We have Popo, Krakatau, Tukono, Raventador, Sartiev, Sakurajima, aka Sakurajima, Navarro de Ruiz, and Sabancaya. But before we get to that, let's go take a look over here at the Google Spies and get a quick look at the seismic outlook. Wow, they're claiming we can't even see the earthquake map. That's a shame. Let's try it from null school. Bear with me. Okay. So let's get to the worldwide volcano news update, and let's talk about Kitoi. Take a look at this ash plume. This is in the Kuril Islands. It's a pretty good looking island here. And this baby hasn't erupted since 1960, September 27th. Something happened in 2013, but this volcano has re-erupted based on satellite data. You want to see some more interesting information? You could see photos from the Japanese asteroid probe. Yeah, they're way ahead of NASA, which is full of shasa. Come over here to the Hayabusa2 project, navigation images from the Minerva 2-1 deployment operation, real-time delivery. And they're landing on a fucking asteroid as we speak. Now, it looks like the Battlestar Galactica here, clearly. But take a look at this asteroid surface. Look at these big rocks. The surface is littered with rubble and shadows of the Battlestar Galactica. Look at the size of these rocks. Amazing. Just sitting there on the asteroid, it literally looks like a rocky field in central Nevada. Something definitely blasted these sharp angular shards off of something that landed here. Catastrophic in nature. None of these are rounded. These were blown off and landed here. The dust has accumulated for millennia. That's what we're seeing here. Scientists think a giant artificial wall propped up under Antarctica's ice sheet could stop catastrophic sea level rise. Whew, this story is back. And they're smoking crack. You want real solutions? Come over to the Oppenheimer Ranch Project survival store, where we just put a huge selection and grow your own of the cheapest, highest quality, organic, non-GMO seeds on the planet. You can't source them any cheaper than what I've got here. And we have 7 different bundles. 15,000 non-GMO heirloom vegetable seeds, 32 packs, $13.95 free shipping. Get 2 of them. 16,050 non-GMO heirloom vegetable seeds, 40 different varieties, $13.95. You got to buy 2, free shipping. Heirloom seed bank, 55 varieties, non-GMO, open pollinated, $24.95. Holy, this is amazing. 22,000 non-GMO heirloom vegetable seeds, 32 varieties in this bag, $16.99. Check out Survival Essentials. They have a 100 variety and a 135 variety box. One's $59.99, the other one's $74.99. And the final selection is the Heritage Survival Seed Vault, the #1 selling preparedness seed vault on the planet currently. And it gets 5 stars. Not a single complaint out of 80 million purchases. 25-year storage life, fruit, herb, vegetable, heirloom seeds, 85% germination success for doomsday preparedness, peace of mind, and the grand solar fucking minimum. $77.99 free shipping. Just click on the picture. It takes you right there. We get $8. You get free shipping. How can you go wrong? You also get a 30 caliber ammo box. Did someone say boom? Your ignorance is their power. Here are the facts. Total solar irradiance was very low during the Dalton minimum. Things were bad. It was extremely low during the Maunder minimum, and it was really bad. It's about to get Maunder minimum-ish. Prepare now. I cannot implore you enough. Your ignorance is their power. We do not need them to stay in power. Here are the facts. It's a cycle, folks. Oort minimum, Wolf minimum, Sporer minimum, Maunder minimum, Dalton minimum, Glassberg minimum, Eddy minimum. You're living it. Be safe. And that's a boom.